want to give you a little bit of an update on, oh God, camera. My phone is so dirty. Oh, my Lanta. It's like the Terminator when the explosion happened.
Things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning.
Good morning. So I almost completely forgot to do my dose this morning for the first time since I started. If you haven't seen my video, my results video from last week, that will give you some insight into why. But anyway, having some issues here. I always forget that long sleeve shirts aren't the best idea for dose days, but it's cold out. So Wegovy, there's only one cap. Move it, press it firmly to the skin. You're going to hear one click and a second click. About 10 seconds from the end of the first click, it should be done, but you're going to wait until the yellow window stops moving. That one was a little burny. Need some blood for the first time in a while. Not sure what that was about, but not a big deal. It happens from time to time. Anyway, got a really busy week. Next week, I'm going to be in California, and it's going to be my first foray into intuitive eating, so stay tuned for that video. I'm going to have way too much going on to try and keep track of calories. I'm not really going to be in charge of what I'm eating, so I won't be able to keep track of recipes and things like that, so it'll be interesting. I can't remember if I mentioned this already or not, but we're repeating the 1.7 this week. I would have liked to have moved up to the 2.4, but when I was filling my prescriptions, I was having a hard time getting a hold of the 2.4, but I was able to find another 1.7 milligram. If I had just waited a couple of weeks, I would have had the 2.4, but I was panicking like everybody else. That's what you get. So, also still working on possibilities for continuing this medication once my 6 refills are up. This is my 5th refill that we're on, so basically counting this one, we have 8 shots left unless I can find some other way to continue this medication. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll link here what's going on with why I may have to quit. But in reading one of the support groups this week, someone gave some information that, depending on what I find out this week, may make it so that I can continue taking semaglutide. So anyway, happy Monday. Let's have an awesome week, and I'll see you in a bit. Hey y'all. So just want to give you a little bit of an update on, oh God, camera. My phone is so dirty. Oh, my Lanta. It's like the Terminator when the explosion happened. Anyway, so just wanted to kind of give you an update on what's been going on over the last couple of days. So I was on one of the Wegovy support groups this weekend, and it had to have been divine intervention, y'all, because there's no way. I mean, I'm part of, I want to say 4 or 5 different support groups, and there's so many posts happening on there all the time, and so many people responding. Like, one of the groups has over 30,000 people in it or something like that. So, I mean, that was a lot to say that I can't possibly see everything that comes across those boards. But on one of the boards, somebody posted something, and I was reading some of the comments, and I ran across a comment that was talking up that someone said that they went through a compounding pharmacy to mix their semaglutide for them, and that they were getting it for way cheaper, like $150 for 2 months cheaper. So obviously everybody on the support forum went nuts and was like, "Oh, I need this information. What is this information?" Basically, I sent a message to my doctor this morning giving her the information that he gave me, and provided that she responds and says that she's good with that and that she thinks it's a good idea, and she sends them my prescription, I'm going to be able to continue taking Wegovy. I am reserving my excitement for all of those other things to take place, because I don't want to get overly excited and all worked up and then end up having it not happen. So we shall see. I will definitely keep you guys updated. I'm I'm running a bunch of errands today because, as I said, I'm getting ready to go to California. So I have a bunch of stuff I need to get done before then. And my husband, who is a commercial truck driver, his truck broke down today. So he is now having to stay overnight in a hotel about 4 hours away. He's home almost every night. He does have to make overnight runs sometimes, but this was unexpected because of mechanical difficulties. So I expected him to be home tonight, and I'm not going to get to my husband back until tomorrow. So he's there without pajamas, without clothes, without anything. Basically just his cell phone and the clothes on his back. So I'm just kind of trying to keep myself busy, getting a couple of extra things done so that I don't really have to worry about doing them when I get him back tomorrow. So I hope y'all are having a great day. I will keep you updated on the compounding pharmacy information. I'm hoping that I will hear back from my doctor tomorrow, but that's all for now. Just happened across these at Walmart. They're 2 net carbs or Hawaiian sweet rolls, and they're only 30 calories per roll. It's like a third of what regular ones are. I wonder if they're any good. If you've tried these, let me know down in the comments. Okay, so tomorrow I have a lovely friend that several of us are working on throwing her a surprise birthday party. So they asked me if I would make the cake. And I'm real nervous about it because, like, I've made plenty of cake, but I haven't really decorated cakes before. So I'm going to be decorating a cake. And right now, I'm in the process of making the cream cheese frosting because I'm making, in addition to a 3-layer 9-inch cake, I'm also frosting 36 cupcakes. So this frosting is the opposite of a diet recipe, but it's also, like, the best cream cheese frosting I've ever used. It's the same one I used for Nikki's gender reveal. And it's just, like, the perfect consistency. It's kind of like a buttercream cream cheese hybrid. So I don't know any way to make this one lower calorie, guys. It's just one of those that you've just got to plan for, and you need to just do it in moderation, right? Because sometimes you need to do that. If you're going to do something sustainable that you can do for the rest of your life, you have to plan sometimes to just indulge a little. So I will probably have 1 cupcake tomorrow, which, I mean, let's be real, with the Wegovy, I can't really eat a lot more than that, so it works out. So I'm quadrupling this recipe because I'm making so much, but it's a single recipe is 1 stick of butter, 1 block of cream cheese, 500 grams of powdered sugar. And yes, I weigh the powdered sugar because when you measure powdered sugar, it's way too easy to get too much or too little, and then the consistency is wrong. So 500 grams of powdered sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, I believe. No, 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I am quadrupling all of those items. So the first thing you do is you beat together the cream cheese and the butter until it's completely smooth. I left this out overnight so that it could be good and creamy. Cream cheese is fine to be left out of the refrigerator overnight as long as it's not super warm in your apartment, as long as it's under 75 degrees. And butter I leave out at room temperature all the time. So there's 1. I am way too OCD to leave that on the foil, you guys know by now. Whose idea was it to package cream cheese like this? Like, I mean, I guess I don't really know what the alternative would be, but it's annoying. So 4 teaspoons of vanilla is just shy of 1.5 tablespoons. And honestly, vanilla is one of those things you should measure with your heart anyway. And a teaspoon, again, I'm quadrupling this, of salt. Salt chemically enhances, like, in your mouth. It enhances the flavor of the other things that are in it, which is why you always see salt in sweet dishes, because it brings out the sweetness. You should always add salt to your baked goods. I always use salted butter, even though recipes call for unsalted. I like it. I've never made a sweet recipe with salted butter and been like, oh no, there's too much salt in it. Never had that reaction. So. Okay, now I'm going to weigh out 2,000 grams of powdered sugar, which is a ding-dang lot. This is my scale. It's the OXO Good Grip scale. It's the one that America's Test Kitchen recommends, and I love it. It's a fantastic scale. I don't know if you can see this, but the front comes off so that you can see it better if you have a large vessel on there. Not me realizing that I probably can't fit all 4 recipes in here at once. I still need 1,092. So I'm gonna very slowly add this in. I'm gonna grab a big bowl and weigh out the rest. Okay, now to slowly incorporate this into that. If you don't have a scale, I highly recommend one, not just for dieting purposes, but for cooking purposes. It makes things just so much easier not having to measure stuff all the time. Like, you can just put the bowl on the scale and weigh stuff out. We just made a little bit of a mess. It's fine. Oh, Mindy. But you can see the texture on that. It is fluffy and airy. Anyway, if you need to frost some stuff, this is your go-to. Good morning, everybody. So we are on the road again. Anyway, just wanted to give y'all a little bit of an update on the Wegovy, semaglutide, whatever front. So I have been in touch with a compounding pharmacy this week, which honestly, I can't remember what all I've told you and what I haven't. So I'll just explain it, and if I've already said it, then I'll edit it out. Anyway, earlier this week, or I think it was late last week, on one of the Wegovy support groups, somebody posted something about getting their semaglutide from a compounding pharmacy. And if you don't know what a compounding pharmacy is, because I didn't know what a compounding pharmacy was, compounding pharmacy is a pharmacy that actually makes and mixes their own medications. So they basically make their own form of a generic medication. They're regulated by the FDA, and in fact, they even have more stringent guidelines than a regular pharmacy would because they're mixing their own drugs. For an injectable drug like Wegovy, they have to be considered a sterile facility. And I basically just Googled compounding pharmacy near me and started making phone calls. Now, I got in touch with Stonegate Pharmacy in South Austin, who said that they actually developed a rapid dissolving sublingual semaglutide tablet, which means that it's a tablet that you put underneath your tongue and it rapidly dissolves instead of you having to actually inject it. So they've been selling it for a little over a year, and they've had great success with it, and it is a fraction of the cost of Wegovy. So they don't take insurance. That's the way compounding pharmacies work. In order to keep their costs down, they only accept cash or HSA or credit card or whatever. Like, you have to pay for it out of pocket. So basically, I messaged my doctor, and I was so excited because I had found this option where I wasn't going to have to worry about a prior authorization or just dealing with insurance at all. Because even if I got a prior authorization, I still had a $4,500 deductible that I had to pay, so that wouldn't help me at all with the cost. So I messaged my doctor and I was like, I have great news. I'm so excited. I found a compounding pharmacy that makes the semaglutide in a rapid dissolve tablet. All I need you to do is to write a prescription for this strength for the maintenance dose. And she wrote me back and said that she was not going to write that prescription because it's too much work for a family medicine office, and I needed to seek out the assistance of a weight loss specialist. She also happened to mention that she was leaving the medical clinic that I had been seeing her at in 2 days. So she just she just wasn't going to do that and leave the burden of that to the medical clinic. I'm sorry. How much work is it to write a prescription? I mean, please tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never worked in a doctor's office before, but I've never had a doctor tell me that they wouldn't write me a prescription because it was too much work. Needless to say, I won't be going back to that doctor. I contacted the clinic directly and asked them if there was another doctor that would write me the prescription, since it's the exact same drug I've already been on for 4 months. But they said that one of the doctors that I've seen before, he wouldn't feel comfortable writing a prescription without seeing me first. So now I have to wait 2 weeks for an appointment to go and see that other doctor and hope that he decides that it's a good idea for me to stay on this medication. I've never been so frustrated with the medical field in my life. I think that it's probably because I've never had any serious medical issues to deal with. I've never had any serious illnesses. I've never had anything like that except for obesity. And I've been lucky enough, and I've talked about this before, that so far in my life, my obesity hasn't really caused any sort of complications other than the fact that several years ago I was diagnosed with arthritis. But it's been manageable, basically with just taking ibuprofen. So if you work in a medical office, if you know anything about prescriptions, can you please tell me if I'm wrong? Like, is it really that much work to write a prescription without insurance? Because I just don't get it. I don't get it. Help me understand, people. So we're in another holding pattern. With any luck, when I see this doctor on the 2nd of March, he will be willing to write the prescription for me so that I can start getting the semaglutide through the compounding pharmacy. If you're in a position where you're on Wegovy and your 6-month discount card is ending soon, or it's already ended and you've had to stop taking the medication for cost purposes, please look into compounding pharmacies in your area. It appears to have worked for other people, and it's a way for you to save significant amounts of money. The pharmacy asked that I not disclose the amount that I am paying because they said that it could change depending on the availability of the semaglutide and how much they're having to pay for the materials to make the drugs. But I mean, it's less than a tenth of the cost of what I would have had to pay for Wegovy out of pocket. So I'm just out and about running some errands. I'm working on making a cake for a friend's birthday, and it's also Nikki's birthday this weekend, and we're having a birthday sleepover tonight, and that I may or may not film any of. I don't know exactly what we're doing. I think we're just hanging out at home and watching movies, so I can't exactly I can't believe that any of that would be exactly exciting. But I'm also going to make her some cookies, and I'm on my way to Walmart right now because her gift was going to be, I'm taking her out to dinner tonight, and we're also spending a bunch of time together tomorrow and getting pedicures and stuff like that. But yesterday we were talking on the phone, and she was showing me her slippers, and her slippers have a hole in the bottom, so I'm going to get her a new pair of slippers. So anyway, I hope you're having an awesome day, and we'll talk to you soon.
So this is a 2X. And I think it looks okay. I like that it hides my arms. I think I'm gonna get it. It's a little more than I would normally spend for a shirt, but it's cute.
Hey y'all, it's the end of week 17 already. Time keeps flying on by. So just want to talk about, as usual, my non-scale victories, side effects, and results. 9 non-scale victories. I have, my clothes are still getting looser and looser all the time. So that's a constant indicator that I'm still losing. I was able to buy some matching pajamas. Nikki and I had a sleepover for her birthday this last weekend, and I bought some matching Lulu and Stitch pajamas at Walmart. They were super cute. They were a little tight on me, but like for the size that they were, I was shocked that I could even put them on at all. So that was exciting. They'll be a really fun pair of pajamas that I'll be able to wear for a while because they are a little on the small side for me right now. I also had another friend who had a birthday this weekend, and we had a surprise party for her. You all saw the cake that I made for her, And I saw a bunch of people there that I hadn't seen in a while, and quite a few people commented on the fact that they could really tell that I had lost a lot of weight. So that's always exciting when other people notice. I know some other people don't like that, but for me, it's kind of that validation that all the work is worth it, because people can see it. So side effects, I didn't really have any side effects to speak of this last week, but this morning I woke up with some horrible lower back pain. I will say that over the weekend, I was so busy on Saturday and Sunday that I really didn't drink enough water. And I have a feeling that it's my kidneys that are just mad because I'm not drinking enough. So I've been trying to pound as much water as possible. I'm sorry, I just looked at my dog. So freaking cute. Anyway, I've been trying to pound as much water as possible today, and it has been improving slowly as the day has gone on. So I think that kind of confirms my suspicions that it's definitely has to do with my water intake. So I'm usually really good about staying on top of my water, but this weekend things were just absolutely crazy, and I was not doing a great job of keeping my water close to me like I normally do. So drink your water. Anyway, results. I ended the week with 832 excess calories. I just really wasn't hungry yesterday, and I had a night at the slumber party, or not the slumber party, excuse me, at the surprise party where it wasn't like they weren't serving food. Like, I mean, it was food, but it was all just like finger food, like appetizer-y things. So I didn't really want to eat a lot of it because a lot of it was really greasy, and it was just a lot of salts, like jalapeno popper dip and queso and stuff like that. So there were a few cheese and cracker trays, so I did eat some crackers and cheese and meat and stuff like that. But I was really hungry when we got home, but we got home well after 1 a.m, and I didn't want to put food in my body at that point in time. So when I woke up yesterday on Sunday, I had 2 nights of very little sleep. And so I turned off my alarm, and my dog woke me up around 9 a.m. because he was ready to get up. And I was like, no, I'm not. I didn't even go to bed until after 3 a.m. I was like, I'm not waking up right now. So I created him, fell back asleep, and we didn't get up until like 1:45 yesterday afternoon. So my whole day kind of got thrown into a tailspin. And we didn't even eat lunch until like 3:30 in the afternoon. So I was not hungry again. I did end up eating some ice cream, because ice cream is one of those things that like I can pretty much eat whenever, which is why I have to be careful with it. But it was, the good thing is that it was a good calorie bomb, because I had at that point over 2,000 calories, I think, left. So by eating that ice cream, I brought myself down to the 832 excess calories. Boy, that was a long story for that short little thing. Like my friend Kim says, short story long. Anyway, so this week, I know we've had several weeks where I've been losing very, very little for a multitude of reasons. But this week I lost 2.7 pounds, which finally kicked me over to 51.5 pounds total. So I finally hit over that 50-pound mark, which I am so happy about. The other thing is that means we are now less than 15 pounds away from being under 300 pounds for the first time in I don't even know how long. I know this week was really strange. We didn't have grocery shopping with Nikki. I didn't have any kind of a grocery haul. You didn't see a meal plan. The reason for that is because I'm going to be leaving for California tomorrow, Tuesday, which is the 15th of February. And I'm going to be in California with family for my nephew's fiance's bridal shower. I'm going to be there for a whole week. So I'm going to be gone all week this week. So I wasn't going to be doing any kind of a, meal plan for myself or anything like that, because I'm not going to be in charge of my food for this week. I did go grocery shopping, but it was for my husband. So it was literally like sausage and frozen pizza. So I was like, they're not going to want to see this because I'm not eating any of it. So anyway, this next week will be a very different vlog as well. I'm not going to be weighing myself because I won't have access to the scale that I always use. And I feel like trying to weigh myself in a new place is just setting myself up for either a whole lot of excitement if it weighs me as less than my scale, or a whole lot of disappointment if it weighs me as more. I'm also going to be taking my first foray into intuitive eating, so I have no idea what that's going to do to me. I'm going to be eating out a lot, so I just know that there's going to be a lot of outside factors affecting my weight loss, and I don't really feel like it's fair to report a weight, whether it's extremely positive or extremely negative one way or the other. So you guys won't be getting a weigh-in from me next week. What you will be seeing is kind of a peek at what it's like to travel on Wegovy. I know I've seen a lot of things on the support groups where people are going on vacation or they're getting ready for a trip and they're wondering how to travel with Wegovy. So I'm going to be, or excuse me, while you're on Wegovy. So I'm going to be kind of taking you guys along with me as much as I can, or really as much as I remember to, so that I can give you kind of a glimpse of what this travel has been like for me, or what the travel will be like for me. So if you're interested in that and you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know as soon as those videos go live next week. In all likelihood, I probably won't have 2 videos next week unless I decide to give you a short video with like a compilation of all of the different food that I ate, because I won't be cooking this next week. So anyways, thank you once again for all of your kind support and encouragement over this last couple of weeks. I know we've had a pretty big uptick in subscribers. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Please introduce yourself down in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I would also love to answer any questions that you may have. I try to respond to every comment I receive. So given that I'm going to be in California, it may take a little longer to respond than I normally would, but I will get to you, I promise. So thank you so much, you guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
To be better without what's been holding us back now.